up, people? This is the first official, like, legit drive of the Mustang since it's actually been running and functioning properly. There's been a couple little things I've had go on that I've kind of addressed over the last week or so. As you saw in the last video, we finally started it. Turns out it doesn't actually chop and cam like I thought it did as we first saw. There was actually an issue where the alternator that I picked up, there's like a nut that holds the pulley on. The pulley fell off when I was turning it over, I guess, because there was no nut. So the car was running off straight battery, and I think that was partly why it was doing that heavy chop, like the VCT stuff maybe hadn't done whatever it needs to. I don't really know. It sounded great, but
yeah, it did sound cool.
Yeah, so now that I fixed all the electrical stuff, now it's running like smooth as butter, which is like good, but kind of saddening at the same time. I don't know. It's definitely, there's more like of a pronounced like volume to it on idle. Like it definitely is, it's a touch more loud, I think, because of the cams.
Yeah,
so
I think so too.
We'll really know once we can actually like really start opening it up and stuff, you know, it's tuned and everything like that, because that's when I think it'll really start to shine. It is currently the middle of April because of the whole virus thing that's going on, as you guys are well aware, I'm sure.
I just know it's Thursday.
Yeah, and we are en route to Richmond. I literally got the car, you know, running properly today. I put about 60 to 80 miles on it, like in the last day or so, figuring out some of the issues. Right.
This is the first official road trip with
On
the new motor.
Yep.
And we have to kind of do this today because tomorrow...
We're getting it tuned tomorrow!
So, yeah.
I've been a little stressed trying to get all this stuff sorted out. But we're gonna go meet up with some friends, get some miles on the car. Being that it's a brand new motor, we gotta have to vary the RPMs and loads, so trying not to just keep it in 6th gear cruising the whole time out there. Gonna downshift, kind of get into it, let off, let the RPMs come back down. That's gonna help seat the rings, get it all broken in and happy. When it's all said and done, we should have about 400 to 500 miles on the motor. That's not bad. The goal was originally 500. I thought I was gonna have more than like
A day.
2 days. But considering, you know, the circumstances, I'm pretty happy with the fact that we're able to get that kind of mileage on the motor. And we will be kind of hanging out and trying to show you guys as much of the tuning stuff and all that as possible. So the main thought process was that we're going to go ahead and get our first drive going and get some reactions to kind of like how the car feels so far, do a couple of small pulls because I have to do varying amounts of loads for the new motor. And one thing I wanted to mention too is the fact that we're even able to drive this right now is because like I had to borrow the brakes and rear axle from Melissa's car, Project Bombshell, if you guys are familiar. Check that out on Instagram and some of the, you know, build videos that we got going for it.
So that car's just sitting there.
Yeah, and since that's the case, you know, my brakes and diff cover are with the guy getting powder coated, but because of all the virus stuff, he was stuck in Pennsylvania. There was massive delays going on. This was actually supposed to get done and
2
tuned.
weeks ago.
Yeah, on April 3rd, I think was my first date. And then he finally let me know like what was going on, so I went ahead and rescheduled the date to the 17th. And so Tuesday, I finally heard back from him. He said, hey, I probably can get you your stuff back this weekend, which is like Saturday, Sunday, after the tune date. And I didn't want to reschedule again, so I went ahead.
Because he's been sad, y'all. He's been super depressed and sad because his car hasn't been running.
It's
like,
more frustrated than anything. Because like, I didn't know what I needed to do and what I should do. And I didn't want to have to keep, you know, changing everything. I spent like a solid 8 hours after work getting the brakes and the rear end off of Melissa's car, back into this car, bled, and everything running and driving and whatnot. And I gotta tell you, if you guys can't hear it, I don't know if it's the camera's picking up, but these brakes are awful. It's literally squeaking, squeak, squeak, squeak the whole time. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. Who knows? Varying amounts of RPM and load. Point is,
it's just temporary.
Yeah, we got the car running and driving so that we can get it to the tune. So the goal today, get the motor nice and broken in more, and then tomorrow...
But not broken.
say things like that.
That's gone.
So we'll try and get a couple good little clips for you guys so you can kind of hear the car ring it out a little bit. Nothing too over the top because again, I can only do so much. But we'll probably get some 3 to like 5,000 RPM pulls, like third and then fourth gear. It definitely feels really good from when I was driving it the other day. It feels like there's a little bit more oomph down low. So we just got finished doing some data logging. We did an idle, like a standard, like regular driving, some cruising at speed, and then we did like a part throttle acceleration and sent that over to Adam so you can check it out. When I did the part throttle acceleration, the car started throwing misfire codes, got real pissed off, threw a couple check engine lights because I hadn't been able to do a crankshaft position relearn yet. We immediately pulled over, and then since we have the X4 tuner now, I was able to do the crankshaft position relearn. So now we're good to go. It seems like it's running better. I'm gonna do like another part throttle acceleration on camera this time for you guys to see if any issues come about, but I think we're okay.
So you wouldn't have done that, been able to do that with the old?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I tried, but the X3 doesn't have the same features as the X4.
Oh, okay.
I was like a fifth gear, like 3 to 5,000 kind of pull. Ready?
Yeah. It feels like...
Just like, it's got more like down low.
Yeah, it's more of a punch.
Yeah. It didn't get pissed and go fucking throw misfires and shit like that this time, so that's good.
That is good. Yeah, it's just like...
It just got more like oomph on that low end.
Yeah.
And I think that's that higher compression ratio coming through.
Yeah.
But what's going to be crazy is revving out past 5, because you feel it. It starts to kind of like...
It was like...
It really starts to like, here we go!
Yeah.
Right around that, right when I'm shifting.
Yeah, it was
that
like,
5?
just keep going, and then you're like, nope, can't.
But that's when the boost starts coming in, and like that's when the Paxton wants to eat, is those higher RPMs. So it's going to be a fucking ripper once it's good, dude. Woo!
I'm so scared.
Oh, man. So after doing that crank relearn, that fixed all of the misfire issues, it seems like. We were able to, you know, do some small pulls and have no issues moving forward, but it's now a lot later. We're just eating some food. Got some Jack Browns in Richmond. If you guys are familiar, ever in the area, check it out. It's good stuff. This is like the Walker Texas Brady Rangers. I don't know what it is. It's like a combination of two of their burgers, but super good. After this, I think we're just going to turn around and head back home. And we will pick this back up tomorrow at Revolution Automotive when the cars get into them. So, stay tuned. Alright, it's about 7 a.m. We are at the Harris Teeter in Dunkirk. I've always heard that this place tests really good on the E85, so I threw some 93 in the car because we needed to fill up to get to Rev Auto. Let's just get in gas, and then I'm going to grab the E85 pump, do a quick test on it, kind of see what it's testing as far as content-wise. Hopefully it's good with everything going on. I've heard that like it's hit or miss, so we'll see what it tests. Hopefully it's like E80, and we'll be good to go from there. And I'll probably fill up, we have like 4 jugs with us for the VP racing stuff, so I'll go ahead and fill all those up if it's good testing. Alright, so we tested our E85 and it's hitting right about 75, 76. So you can see that right there on the line. Or maybe a little lower. My water's off, I don't know. But we filled up, got 22 gallons, it was only 37.50. Nice. And now we're ready to head to Rev Auto. Jugs in the back. A little chilly, huh?
Yeah.
And the nice lady gave Skylar a cookie at the gas station. So we made it to Rev Auto. Adam's pulling the car in now. He's gonna put it on the dyno, and then before we get actually tuning, I'm gonna do a quick oil change on it, get some fresh oil through the system. Now that we have, I think it was right about 450 on the motor, so almost 500, not too bad. But yeah, now that we've gotten that braking mileage in, we're gonna put some fresh oil in, and then go from there. Damn, steel looks so mean, dude. Those eyes are set to kill. Alright, oil change has been done. Car's on the dyno. Adam's already started doing a little bit of the tuning stuff. He kind of did some adjustments before starting, and then he's done a little bit of like park throttle things. He did do like a small pull, I think up to 6,300 RPM he said. Everything's pretty good so far, so it seems like the motor's holding together, pretty well considering I built it in the garage. So everything's looking pretty good. He said he's going to do some more park throttle stuff, and then probably do his first pull up to 7,000 RPM. We are still on 93 octane right now, but so far at 6,300 RPM, it did already make 600. So it's looking pretty good. I think we're on track to make some solid numbers with what we do. So stay tuned. I'll get some dyno pulls recorded for you guys. blue line is the last time I was here, and the red line is now this time. You can kind of see where it's sitting out on the torque curve. It's got more torque on the low end, which makes sense with the cams, and then you can see it comes back in the high end. And then you have that little bit of drop, and then it really starts to take off.
It's leveled off because it's tickling the knock sensors there, so.
Yeah. But even leveling off, I mean, we're still hitting a little over 7 there, and then like, what is that, 540 MCL torque?
Yeah, that's not a real number because it lost a back signal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of junk results there.
Okay.
It's still super rich on air fuel.
It's definitely getting there.
So it's, yeah, 740, 738 torque.
You mean 538?
Yeah, that's what I said.
So that's more or less our 93 tune.
Yeah, I still got to touch up the fueling above 6. I still got to lean it out some. But number-wise, as I said, I'm not going for any more horsepower at that point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it is still a stock bottom end. I mean, we got the ARP stuff in there, but like realistically, at 93 running hotter, you're gonna run into issues. I would think. At more than that.
It's just erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Is there more left in it?
Which is why we're here, because Adam does safe tunes. So if you guys aren't following Revolution Automotive, check him out. Adam's a great guy.
Yeah, is there more left in it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there in the 85.
The 85, we're going to turn the wick up for sure.
Oh, fuck, I'm nervous, dude. I'm not going to lie. What do you anticipate on the 85? I'm just curious.
850.
850s? All right, so we wrapped up the 93. Here are the numbers that we've got as it is. So it made like 740 horsepower, 540 torque. So how's your lunch?
It's good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is it spicy or no? The sauce?
Yeah, it's spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only have like a tiny bit. This one is, they're both good. This one's more like tomatoey.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's running on E85 now. It's actually started. He was getting it warmed up, getting the fuel out of the rails and whatnot, so it should be E85 at the motor at this point. And then I guess we're going to start doing some regular driving up to the gears and everything like that, and then see what it goes. some gains, boys.
Cutting it at like 7,600 RPM. We're gonna run it to 8 on the E85 setup, but I guess he needs like a different base file because he has one for 13, 14, it's a 10, 11, 12 car, and so he's just gonna have to get me that whole updated tune for 8,000 RPM at a later date. So we won't really have like a full official dyno number per se, but we'll be able to kind of guesstimate where it would end up at, you know, just following the line kind of thing. So let's see what she does on the last pulls here.
So here's our final numbers for the day, getting capped at 7,600 RPM. And I figured we would just ask Adam what he thought about the setup. So if anyone else was interested in this, you know, what he feels about it in terms of, I guess, that versus other options in terms of motor building and things like that.
Yeah, power-wise, it turned out really well. Ran into a little glitch with programming. Need to get the rev limiter raised up on it, but ended up at 852 on the 85 for the boost we're running. It's really good. Comparable setup. If this was a complete Gen 2 motor, let's say, you know, with stock cams, it's making about 50 more horsepower to the tires than we would see with that. And definitely probably like 60 plus more than a Gen 1 motor. So our selection worked out great. It's what we see with the using the comp cams. Torque and horsepower below 4,000 RPM. Definitely lose a lot, but it makes up for it on the top. And then, you know, the 18 bottom end, the extra cubic inches, extra compression, Gen 2 heads, the cams, like, for the boost level, it's doing really well.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if I even pointed that out. Right here, you can see we made 13.5 pounds, and that's right around here. So it'll probably make around, I don't know, like what, 14 at 8,000 RPM?
At least, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, we could expect to see maybe another 15 or so horsepower. Nothing crazy, I would think, right?
I mean, the way the curve's going out to 8,000, I mean, it might get close to 900. I don't think it would go past it, but it'd be close.
Yeah. And then part of that's probably the fact that I'm running the Paxton blower, right? Because if I was on a turbo running the same boost, we would probably see a significant difference in power numbers.
It would just be different curves.
Different curves?
Turbo, we'd come in with heavier torque, and we'd have a, like say, an eBoost 2 controller on it, and the boost would not be increasing per RPM. We would tabletop it, the boost would stay level. So at that point, with the cams and the manifold that's on it, it'd still make peak power at like 700,
okay,
but it wouldn't be this huge line going up. It'd be more of a tabletop.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. So there you have it. That's a wrap. We made some pretty solid numbers today. I think, you know, obviously there's still more numbers to be made at some point once we have like the final tune for E85 and everything like that. Maybe I'll try and get it back on a dyno and see if we can hit that 900. I'm not super worried about it because it's just a number at the end of the day. Like, whatever. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to checking out with this setup is like the longevity behind it and how it lasts over time. So hopefully it holds strong. I do think I am going to go ahead and cut the video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the numbers that we made, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned for more content. I'll be doing like a reaction video once I get my actual brakes and rear end back in the car, and you know, the suspension's sitting proper and everything, because right now it's just wonky. And we'll get the car situated suspension wise and go for some first rips and just enjoy, because like Melissa's gonna shit her pants, dude. I probably will too. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I'm ready for it. I made 850 on 85. Like, that's a big jump. We had 600 before, so it was what, 740 on 93, but we dialed back the RPM limiter to like 72. So I think that we probably still make about 700 on 93, so it's a lot. It's a lot of horsepower. I don't care what the keyboard warriors out there say. Most of them have never even driven through like 300. Gonna go ahead and hit the road. Huge thanks again to Revolution Automotive. If you guys are in the market for a tune and need anything done like that, I definitely recommend them. They're in Baltimore, Maryland area. Adam's like a wizard, so absolutely give him a shout. He'll get you squared away on whatever it is you need. They do lots of performance work as well, and they do. It's not just like drag racing or road racing. Like they do it all, which is really cool. And there's some competition winners. He's the main tuner for Von Gittin Jr. If you guys aren't familiar, yeah. So he's obviously got some repertoire built up. Knows what he's doing. I highly recommend him. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and hit the road. We got probably 2.5 hours or so drive home. Just gonna take it easy, enjoy the car, happy that it's running properly, and we'll catch you in the next video, guys. So peace out.